Good morning, how are you all doing? We're having a little bit of a competition on who's commenting first. Hey, Arituya. I'm sure I got the name wrong, but I'm trying. Let me know how to pronounce it. And hey, Habibali, how are you doing? How's everyone doing? Hope you're all well. I think you can hear me okay. Yeah, so if you can hear me okay, see me all right, put it into the chat, let me know. Good morning, how are you doing? Hey, Pips Apprentice. We had a couple of trades that play out quite nicely from yesterday. Hope you all caught that. Fantastic, good to see, good to know. Hey, D-Train, good afternoon, how are you doing? Give it a couple of minutes before we get started, as usual. In the meantime, if you are on the session, remember, drop a message, say hi, let me know that you're here. Let me know that if you're new to the session as well, let me know where you're joining us from. One more minute and we shall get going. Just want to check out a couple of the streams. Give me 1 second, just checking something. Oh, not 1 second, 1 minute. Okay, looks like everything is running quite well. Okay, good. Yeah, just testing LinkedIn streaming as well. Hey, Ayakame, good morning. How are you doing? Greetings. Habib Bali is from Bahrain. Good to see you. Good to have you with us. Hey, Jew Marinas, how you doing? Good morning. Gold bullish short, and then one counter trend. Okay. Give it just about to get started now. Hey, Angel Case. Very nice trades you've had. Good to see. Okay, let's get started. Again, a big welcome to everyone, all the regulars. Good to have you with me again for this session. For all the new audience or newcomers, good to have you. Thanks for finding us. Do drop a message, say hi, let me know where you're joining us from. For all the regulars, remember, and for everyone, remember to help me out. Click that like, that thumbs up button on YouTube, that little rocket ship button on TradingView. Okay, let's get more people onto the live streams, all right? And if you haven't already, the link is there for you guys to join the Discord channel. We are having our discussions after this onto Discord as well, okay? So you can join that as a trading community. If you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put it into the chat and let me know. Any quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. The contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, as your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. With that, let's keep going. Hey, pleasant morning to you, KLE. It's midday. It's, well, past midday for me, so it's halfway through the day already. Hey, Erwin, good morning. How are you doing? Hey, Goju, good morning. Alrighty. So what has happened since the last time we spoke? Okay, PMI numbers was released. It was a little bit more changes than expected, right? A little bit more changes than expected, where I was thinking that it's going to stay at that 42.5 level. It just moved up a little bit, but we have mixed numbers. Manufacturing for the Eurozone looks like it's doing a bit better, but services down slightly. Overall, we did not see a massive impact resulting from this PMI numbers on the Eurozone. The UK saw services PMI go from 52.7 up to 53.4. Expected 53.1, came out at 53.8. It's not a big change. Same with the PMI numbers for manufacturing, 46.2. Let's beat myself. Okay, 46.2. Expected 46.7, came out 47.3. Still well into that, still within that contractionary phase, although it does look like it's slowly creeping upwards. Again, we did not see massive moves from this pound dollar, right? It only started pushing up from that point at 5. I saw an article that said, oh, it pushed up because of the PMI numbers. I wouldn't attribute it because of the PMI numbers. I think that the pound dollar pushed up at 5. You can see this big candle up, more because of the dollar that fell, right? The dollar falling exactly as planned. It came right down to that 102.90 level and then bounced back up. So I would attribute it more towards the dollar falling rather than the PMI numbers. Although it was positive PMI numbers, I don't think that at that kind of release or that data was enough to drive the pound dollar that much higher. Okay, so I would attribute it more towards the dollar index weakening. Then no surprise there from the Canadians. I'm biting myself a lot today. No surprise there from the Canadians, keeping rates at 5%. The rate statement as well did not have too much to say, right? Did not have too much to change, but it did hold a slightly dovish tone to it, right? It did hold a slightly dovish tone to it, and that's why we saw the uscad. It came down, and then just before the news was at 10:45. It shot down, and just before the news, it pushed right back up. Okay, so if you remember, I think we were talking about this, thinking that the dollar weakness could push it down, but then did not think that it was going to move that much. But I think the slightly dovish tone on the from the Bank of Canada led to that push up, together with that recovery, right? It came down, tested that 50 level, and then pushed right back up. Because the dollar pushed right back up, that led to the uscad, the loonie, pushing right back up as well. Okay, so that was what happened since last night. A quick recap of some of the trades that I got into. I had the pound and the yen. I've totally forgot about the yen, because the yen was a very quick trade, right? A relatively quick trade. After what we've gone through of just, prices not really moving, this felt like a really quick trade where it did go from 147. So I was looking at that as we ended the session. It was pushing down, right? It was right here when we were doing the session, and I was saying, okay, if it breaks down from 147.50, you look to sell down. So it slowly pushed to the downside at 7 or 8 o'clock. I think I got in a little bit earlier. I got in at about that point because I wasn't really watching it, so I just got in there just to try it out. It pushed down, and I'll show you the Bollinger where I got out. Right, once it zoom in a bit, there we go. So got in, I think I got in at about 147.55. Yeah, I got in at 147.55, just slightly earlier because I wasn't going to watch it, but I wanted to catch that move. And then it shot down. That was just after the news where the dollar started pushing back up. So I got out as it got outside of the Bollinger. I think I got about 75 on that. 75 or just under 75. So it popped out of the Bollinger Band. Straight away to me, once it's outside the Bollinger Band, the hour closes, I was going to get off the trade because I know that most likely it's going to come back in. So that's why it shot back in and then pushed right back up. So if you did get into this trade, I know Angel Case did. Anyone else got into this trade? Put it into the chat, let me know. It did not move that whole 100 pips to the downside, but there was a good 70, you might even have caught 80 pips to the downside on the US yen. Then on to the pound dollar. Do you remember I was sitting there yesterday, or sitting here yesterday, thinking about this, thinking, oh, we can put our take profit at this level here, but it's most likely going to hit that trend line before, you know, hesitating at a trend line, and it did that exactly. So I got in again a little bit earlier, just on that push. There we go, show you that. As it was pushing up, as it was trying to break above that 61.8 level, I got in at about that point. 1.2715. I had my 20 pip stop, I had my 65 pip take, but then it came up again. You can see very clearly here. I'll move this away a little bit. Okay, very clearly here where the price shot up, hit that trend line, and was way outside of the Bollinger Band. Where it was way outside the Bollinger Band, and that's where I got out of my trade, I think at about 50 something or just under 50 pips. Right, so that was the pound dollar to the upside. So overall, not a lot of trades. I was saying in the Discord channel, probably one of my lowest trading volume couple of weeks, from what I remember, but 2 trades, I think it was 50 and about 70, so still 100 over pips on the pound and on the US yen. So I'm happy. I am very happy about that. Okay. Any other pairs you got into at 1.2666, 1.2? Whoa. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I remember. I think you said that yesterday. 1.2663. Right there. Okay. So right on that pin bar. So B Bali just said got in at 1.26663, which is after that pin bar here on that 61.8 level, so showing that potential for reversal. You got in about that point there and exit at 1 point. Let me do that. And exit at 1.2749. 1.2749, which is about there. Very good, very nice. 80 pips. I like this kind of trades. So I think you're looking at that high point as a reference level. So I like that kind of trades in particular because, you know, almost no price action, and there was almost no drawdown at all. Well, no drawdown at all. It was just about how much you make more than rather than whether you made money or not. So I like, those are the kind of perfect trades that I like to get into. 1.2, yeah, okay. Then with that, Kiwi dollar shot up. I was busy with the other pairs, so I did not get into that. We cleared that one out. Did not drop, clear that one out. Aussie dollar, was thinking that it could Well, if the dollar strengthened, it could drop, but did not happen. It still remains within the range. You probably know what I'm going to say about the Aussie dollar next later on. US yen, we cleared it out already. Pound dollar done. Euro dollar was supposed to test and turn down. As much as it shot straight up, I was canceling that idea. It did push down, but that was only early this morning, so I don't think you would have got into that trade. US Swiss franc did push down. Again, US Swiss franc something I analyze, but not something that I trade. So it did push down to the support. It had a bit of a break of the support, but came right back up, possibly looking at a continuation back down. We'll have a look at that shortly. USCAD, we saw that push down, but before the news, once the news came out, together with that dollar strength, we saw that push right back up. Okay, now with that recap, following that recap, looking at what could happen today. All right, looking at what could happen today. Angel Case was saying that, Angel Case, did you end up getting out of your Kiwi trade? Let me know. Did you get out of your Kiwi trade? Okay, so while you type that up, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. Angel's Case was saying she wanted to get out of a Kiwi trade because of, later tonight at 9:30 p.m. we do have the unemployment claims for the US to be released. I don't think that should have been the big reason. I think the bigger reason is the ECB with their interest rate decision, right? Something wrong with I can't speak properly today. Hang on. Okay. Okay. 9:15 p.m. tonight, GMT +8, we do have the Euro, the ECB with their main refinancing rate, 4.5%, expected to stay at 4.5%. I think the big question here is whether they're going to be talking about a rate cut scenario. I don't think they're going to be talking about it. I don't think they'll be doing it this time around, but it's how they're going to draw that timeline out towards a rate cut. ECB set to hold rates as market debates rate cut timeline, exactly what we just said. To keep pushing back on rate cuts despite dynamic growth. No to big near term. Yeah, I don't think that as much as there is going to be a conversation about rate cut scenarios and timelines, I think it might be a little bit too early for the ECB. I think that it would probably take a lead, or let the dollar let the FOMC take a lead on that before you might see the ECB come back into that scenario. So it might be like what I think a week ago I was writing about that rate cut scenario for the ECB, most likely, and some members said that in the summer months, which will be in June, July, August period. So probably looking at a little bit more time for the ECB. So because of that, this is most likely going to see some impact, but not going to see a massive swing on the euro. Okay, but watch out for that. If you have any euro trades before this news, two things: either look to close it out or protect the trade. Okay, or if you're if you're in profit already, you might want to close it out or move it to break even, let it ride. I think that we might see some movements, but not crazy. But every time I say that, it becomes crazy. So we'll see what happens there. 9:30 p.m. GMT +8 tonight, we do have the US with the advanced GDP quarter on quarter, 4.9 to 2%. You see that this is, sorry, something's happening. This is going to show a bit of a slowdown in economic activity for the US, right? Dropping from 4.9 to 2%. might see that continuation of that downside for the dollar index, but I think that we do have some clear and strong support levels that would have to be tested and broken before we're going to see significant downside on the dollar. Okay, with that, durable goods dropping month to month. Core durable goods also expected to drop. It looks like if it does come out at as or lower than expected, we might see that dollar index drop further, because it's all expecting a slowdown in durable goods orders, core durable goods orders, all expected to slow down. Might see that dollar index turn back down. Okay, then at 9:45 p.m. GMT plus 8, we have the Eurozone or the ECB with their press conference talking about the decision here. I can't speak today, so please bear with me. Got a fat tongue today. Don't know what's happening. Buba has three questions. Yeah, let me know what are the 3 questions. D-Train says, if time permits, can I please have a look at CAD yen? For sure, D-Train, for sure. And time always permits. I have no limit. I have no limit on time, so time will always permit. I'll just keep going on. You guys keep asking questions, I'll just keep going on. Okay, so with that, then on to tomorrow. We have Australia with a bank holiday, 26th of January. It is going to be Australia Day. So for all the Aussie audience, all my Aussie traders, a happy Australia Day tomorrow to everyone there. I think the Skyworks will still be on. Do enjoy the Skyworks. I'll miss that massively. Then at 9:30 at night, we have the core PCE price index for the US. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Okay, so with that said, how about push up to 103.60, then CPI report. There's no CPI, it's GDP and durable goods to 103.20 and back on track. I don't think it'll get to 105.30. I don't think the dollar index will get to 105.30. Okay, here we go. So now looking at the charts here, today is the 24th. Right, that worked out nicely for us. Okay, take that one away. We can take that one away as well. Where's this from? Okay, that one's there. That's broken. We don't need that one. Let me see. We have 38.2. We don't need that one there. So we see a confluence. That's the one that I was. Remember, I was telling you that there is a clear and strong support level that needs to be broken. It's this point, because look, in the short move up, in this move up, we have 61.8 right there. In the longer move up, we have 38.2 right there as well. Okay, and 50 from the short move. So that one's done. Oh wait, it's the 25th. Oh, I messed up yesterday's one then. Thanks for that, Jumarinus. It is the 25th. I didn't change yesterday's one. Okay. Oops. Hope I didn't confuse anyone yesterday. Okay, now with that, checking this move. At least I know Jumarinus is paying attention. Everyone else is just going with the flow. Okay, we have 61.8. We're rebounded back and tested to push down. We have our big major support here on the dollar. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so these are the levels that we're looking at. I have this big one up here, 50%. Might not need that for now. Okay. So what I think could happen from here. Dinah is not on the session, but it looks like it's covered that gap. It's sitting right there now. Look left on H4. Yeah, it could get, I mean, there's a level there, but I think that 105, it's not going to be a big move today. That's why I don't think it'll get to 105 today, right? Okay, now back to the H1. Okay, there we go. All right, I just have to make that look good. Okay, now with that, then it's going to sit in this area here. So it's consolidating at this point below this near-term 61.8 Fib retracement level, looking like it could push down. If it breaks out of that consolidation to the downside, I don't need that. So let's see. So it's at that 23.6 level right now. That's fair. What I would say is for the dollar, it would need to. Now it's consolidating. Yeah, I think so. It's consolidating now. Look for breakout lower to 102.70 support. Okay, there we go. So what I'm looking for, what I mean by that is it's consolidating right now. I'm looking for it to break out lower to this support level here at 102.70. 50, I actually don't think it should be there anymore because it broke through and bounced up. It's still in the area, but you can take that one away. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we have it. All right, so it's still in that area, looking for it to break down towards 102.70. Weekly support on major support on weekly. All right, yep. Break down that. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm happy with that. So overall, still looking at some weakness, continuation of the weakness on the dollar index. Then with that, I know you guys are quite keen on the Kiwi, like I was saying. It's still sitting at that level. So yesterday we were here. Yesterday we were right here at 3 o'clock. Today we're right here at 3 o'clock. It's almost at the identical level. Anticipating that dollar index weakness on the dollar, we're likely to see this push up. That one's broken. Let's check the next one. Next one's up there. I would be very careful. If you are already in a trade, fair enough, hold on to it. But if not, then I'll be very careful. I would still say that above 6140.15, I think this is the same. We've been talking about this the whole week on the Kiwi. Sitting right across. It broke down, formed a double bottom, pushed up, come back down, looking for it to push back up again because of that dollar weakness. I'm just trying to think if there's any reason or possibility for that break to the downside. I think might, but more likely this scenario. So 6140.15 to 45. which would be this one here. 6140, 15 to 45 to the upside on the Kiwi. Right, so Kiwi, if it pushes up some more because of the dollar weakness, we'll be looking for it to get in at 6140, 15 pip stop loss, 45 pip take profit. Okay, then onto the Aussie, I would still maintain that there is nothing to do here. Same thing, we were here. We were right at this point here, and then it's still sitting at that level now. The only risk, or not the only, but one of the risks I see is possibly it pushes up and a bit of a head and shoulder, not very nice head and shoulder pattern there. There is also, if I zoom in a lot, you can see that test bound, so let me draw that out. There is also that head and shoulder pattern with that neckline. That's why we saw that drop to the downside. Okay. So now at this point, I would say you see that pushing up. I don't like that it's right in the middle. I don't like that it's in the middle. And if you will look to sell it down, you have that. No, I would say do nothing. I wouldn't do anything on the Aussie. Now you could force a couple of trades out on that, but I would say do nothing. It's in the middle of support and resistance. Not worth that kind of trade. Anything I would do here would be in the short term. Would be in the small scalping kind of trades where I could be looking at trading this up towards this point, but it's a small move. Okay. US yen. So why I say it's a small move and why I don't try to force any trades on the Aussie is because look at this. I would so much prefer this one where we see this move. Right, we have our 61.8 where it came close and it's pushing back down again. What we're looking for is for it to turn down, push lower. Short, down. Weekly bullish retracement supported by Chiwoku base line and conversion line is pointing. Okay, I'll take your word for that. There's a lot of information there, Abi Bali. I'll take your word for that. What I'm looking for is that dollar pushing lower, breaking out to the downside. That's going to drag this down. You could look to get in a little bit earlier. I would say that you could look to get in there. I think it'll be safer to think about it at that point. So that's a 30 pip stop loss. And just down to this point would be an 80 pip take profit. It could very well go down 100, but I'll put it at 80 there. Okay. So 147.46, we can even do 45. 30 to 80. 147.45. Stop loss 30, take profit 80 to the downside. right? So basically what we're looking for on the US yen is that this retracement rejects this level, the bottom of the range, and pushes down. Then you look to sell down from 147.45 with a 30 pip stop loss and an 80 pip take profit level. Okay. Then onto the pound dollar. Okay, that one's done. We can take that one away, and that we keep 61. Now from here back up, we can look at 50. No. So this level back up to here, we saw 61.8 come close. On the pound, I don't need that for now. Okay. Check this out. Doesn't make sense as well, so we don't need that. Yep, so we don't need that, although it's starting to form a bit of a channel. Now for this point here, dollar index sitting right there, essentially what you're looking for is for it to push up to that level, test and reject back down. Right? Yes. Okay, so it's sitting there. Pound dollar is consolidating at this point right now, right? And it could do anything in this range. What we're looking for is the dollar weakness to push, dollar weakness to come in, which would push the pound dollar up. Then you look for a test and reject back down again. So you could be looking at 1.2765. Stop loss 20 pips, take profit to go down 50, 60, all the way down to 100. I don't think it'd be that much. You can keep it there. I don't think this would be a today kind of trade. Today I'm looking, it might push up and then we look for the rejection back down again. Because I don't think you should be trading it up for that 40 pips. It could be anywhere in that range. So consolidating, look for it to trade up towards trend line, reject, sell down 1.2765, 20 to 110. So that one's going to be a bit longer here. On the pound dollar, what we're looking for is look for it to trade higher, test and reject trend line. Then you'll be looking to sell at 1.2765, 20 to 110. Where am I? 1.2765. Stop loss 20, take profit 110. Okay. Jamil is holding on to a trade. I think you bought it up, so yes, I think that'd be a good idea. If the pound dollar does break, if this pushes up and this breaks down, I wouldn't do anything at all. Okay. That's relatively straightforward. Then onto the euro. Look at this. Okay, look at this on the euro. It tested 38.2, it broke through, it got held at 50. Okay, got held at 50, so we don't need 38.2 anymore. Take that away. Now, if you look at this on the euro, and remembering that we do have the ECB news later today, it tested 50 and it's bounced back. It's still sitting at that resistance level. 1.2593. That's on a pound. 1.2593. Oh, you're selling down. Yep. think it's sold down there. Push down. Yep, I think that could. I'm thinking that it might bounce up a little bit. So just be careful there, Jamil. All right. Hey, Freddie, how you doing? So we got 50 right there. Holding. Right. So if the ECB does not make any comments or continues to talk about pushing it out, pushing the timeline for the rate cut out, then we might see some strength come back in. We might see some strength come back in, because if they start talking about rate cuts, then you're going to see that weakness come back into play, similar to what we saw in the dollar. I think that, okay, euro dollar, I want to see it stay above 1.0860, about there. Then you could look to buy it up towards that point there. This is with the ECB news. So 1.09. Oops, 1.09. Stop loss no more than 20 pips. Take profit a good 40 pips to the upside. I'll take that. I will take that. Okay. So this one, yes, okay, we need, this is during ECB news. We're looking to buy 1.09, stop loss 20, take profit 40 to the upside. Okay, for now, what looks like might happen is that it's going to sit around this level before pushing back, or retrace a little bit more before pushing back up. Okay, you might do that. But it needs to stay above 1.0860. If it breaks below that, then I'll probably be looking to sell. Needs to stay above 1.0860. There we go. 1:2.4 risk reward, very nice. Sitting there, it's not forming any decisions right now. Then onto the US Swiss franc. Got all our levels there. Record that one. That point bounced off 50. You can see how it's respecting all those Fib levels. Right, it's respecting all those Fibonacci levels. Then with that, we don't need these because it's been broken. 50% is right there. I want to catch that point here. Whoa, what's happening to me? If that hit the TP, I'll win 192. Very nice, Jamil. How many trades is that on the for that 192? Okay, I'm looking at this. And I'm thinking about that, like this. Right, 38.2 is right there. That got tested close to it, and it's turning back down right now. So what we're looking for here, dollar weakness pushing it down. We know that, relatively straightforward. I think that that's a fair move, but because of that level here being held, what you could be looking at is 862.627, or that candle to close. Okay, 20, no more than 25 pips or even 20 pips. And then about 50 to the downside with a hesitation at 0.86. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for is US Swiss franc. I'll be looking to sell down from 0.86 to 7, stop loss 20, take profit 50. To 7, stop loss 20, take profit 50 with a hesitation at 0.86. Kiwi seems started to push. What did Kiwi do? Nah, it's still there. It's still sitting there. Okay. USCAD found a top, right? It's resistance. No, I'll catch this resistance here. Right, I'll catch this resistance here as the top. We have those levels. That's broken. We can take that one away. I don't need this actually. No, rather I would take this as a nearer term view here. And then I'll put that as my support. This is a bit of a long shot. It might be a bit of a long shot, but what I'll be looking for here is another push, test and reject, which would form a double top formation there, together with that possible dollar weakness. So 1.3520, stop loss 20 pips, take profit 40 pips to the downside. I think I'm quite happy with that. Sell 1.3520 to 40. 3520, stop loss 20, take profit 40 to the downside. Okay. So now thinking that the US CAD could push up a little bit before turning back down. OJ Max, I see your question there about pound yen. We can get to that as well. Right, US CAD pushing up, maybe turning back down, and then on the yen looking like it's going to might push back down. I don't have CAD yen. Let me bring up CAD yen. Right, then with the CAD yen for D train, yen going to push down, CAD pushing down with a bit of strength. That's going to bounce around this level. I'm going to clear out the lines here. Have a look at the whole thing. So I know that this is my support for now. I know that I have another point swing low right there. And for sure, I got my top up there. Okay, so what we'll be looking for here is yen to push, US yen possibly pushing to the downside. Coming down, I think it's going, this level here, I think this level here is going to be quite important, right? Because US yen, right, dollar weakness is going to push this down, going to drag the US yen down. It's going to lead to this pushing lower. But US CAD, now if it pushes up, then we're going to see the CAD yen push down a little bit. But if it forms a double top and then the USCAD pushes down, then we might see this bounce back up. Okay, no. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. Dollar weakness could lead to a double top on the USCAD pushing down. Dollar weakness going to lead to the yen pushing down, or could lead to the yen pushing down as well. I think the momentum and the volatility of it pushing down would be more at 1.0880. Stop loss about 25. Take profit could go all the way down to 70 pips to the downside. Okay, D-Train. Let me know if that aligns with what you were thinking about. Then, again, back to the pound, or looking at that pushing up, US yen pushing down, then onto the pound yen. We've done all that, take those away. In fact, I can take everything away for now. We got that top here as our resistance. We have the bottom here as our support. It's right in the middle. I would not do anything here because US yen pushing down would technically push this lower, right? But we're anticipating that the pound dollar could push up. So that's going to bring some strength to the pound, which could push this back up again or push it back up this way. At this point here, it's a bit unknown. What I would best suggest is to see what happens, or look for it to test this support. Then what you can be looking for is to buy it up 187.50. Tight stop, no more than 30 pips. Take profit to go up 120 to the upside. I don't think it's going to move 120, right? Even if it goes up 80, 90 pips, there'll also be a good setup there as well. Okay, OJ Meds, hope I answered your question there on the pound yen. Again, hope it somewhat coincides with your own analysis as well. Hey, Daily Gaming, no worries, but it's recorded so you can catch the replays. If it doesn't retrace down, then we might, and if it doesn't go down and it stays in this region, then I wouldn't get into any trades on the pound yen in this range. It's just a bit too flaky, right? Too choppy. So I wouldn't do anything. KLE asking on the pound Aussie, we can look at that. Kind of didn't track, trigger pushed up, take that way away. Now that Aussie dollar looking like it could push up, some strength on the Aussie, or derive strength on the Aussie from the dollar weakness. Pound pushing up already, now looking at breaking to the upside. So pound Aussie likely to push higher, but it is heading into last year's levels at that point there, and beyond that, just the nearest next level up will be up there. So at this point here, I would say that if it breaks up, you could be a little bit aggressive, look for it to break that trend line. You could get in 1.936, take profit, 50 pip, stop loss tight. Nah, it's a 1-to-1. I would say that yes, you could trade it up here, but ideally you want it to break above before you would trade it up. Above 1.94 before you can trade up to 1.95. Or you would scalp on this short-term trade up. Okay. Daily Gaming said, as I was watching 1 minute time frame, I saw some of the candles is different from trading view. Is that normal? It is somewhat normal, because trading view, like for example, if we looked at Aussie dollar, There are many different brokerages offering that chart. So every brokerage, depending on their different liquidity provider, the connections and the calculations of the time zones, could look a little bit different. Okay, then on to gold. Did not break up, right? Because of what we know, the dollar broke down and then bounced back up. So we saw gold push up and then right back down again. Now, if the dollar is going to weaken, then we're likely to see this push back up. All right, if the dollar is going to weaken, then we could see this push back up. I would say above 2020. We could see it trade up to 2035. No, not so much. About 2030. Okay, gold, we're looking for it to break above 2020 to trade up to 2030, to possibly trade up to 2030. Alrighty, there we have it. Jamil's on a take profit mode, close out the trades, and then look to do withdrawals. Very nice. I love withdrawal Fridays. Okay, so with all that said, again, the link is there. Do make sure you join us on Discord if you haven't already. I hope you have had a good session. If you can help me out massively, do click that little rocket ship button on TradingView and on YouTube, the little thumbs up button. That would help massively. And if not, then I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Please trade well, take care, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye now.